Hello, my people. Welcome back again to this channel. Thank you so much for being with me. So, guys, breaking news: Northern cabals have allegedly given President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a shocking directive. Nnamdi Kanu must sign a secret deal or remain in DSS custody indefinitely. What's in this deal? Why is Tinubu under so much pressure? And how will this shape Nigeria's political future? Stay tuned as I uncover the full story to you guys. Now, if you know you're having doing something or you're about to do something, just leave everything you're doing and listen to this, because this is the reason why Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has not been free, because of what the northern cabals are telling Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that they should not release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu until Mazin Nnamdi Kanu sign this particular deal. Now, I'll be uncovering the full story for you guys to listen to what is happening. Now, if you know you're new to this channel, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more in-depth political analysis. Now, Tinubu and the Northerners have actually told Tinubu that he should not release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu until the Mazin Nnamdi Kanu sign a particular deal. Now, in section 174 of the Constitution, you guys know that they say that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu should be released with procreative mercy. That is what they said in the Constitution 174. Now, the Northerners are saying that Tinubu must not release him until until he signs a particular deal. When I tell you guys that these people are trying to, they're trying every possible means to make sure that Bola Ahmed, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. That's what they did. The Northerners don't want them to release they don't want the Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. That is their plan. They don't want him to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu at all. Imagine saying that they should sign a particular deal. That Nnamdi Kanu should sign a particular deal, and I'm sure that the deal now, the deal may be maybe if before he will be released, his passport may be seized, or he's going to re-announce Biafra, or even stop his order. The Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has been ordering them to change the 1999 constitution. Maybe that may be the deal that the Northerners are saying that he should sign. That if he doesn't sign it, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not release him. This to show you how wicked these Northerners are. They have found out that only Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is the only one exposing their atrocities that they are committing. They have found out that he's the only one, so that's why they're trying to They're trying every possible means, to silence him. This is totally bad. This is totally bad. Imagine saying that that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu should sign a particular deal before Bola Ahmed Tinubu should release him. Just imagine. Anyway, guys, let's really go on. Let's know what he's really talking about. Now, this implies that Kanu's freedom is not purely legal, but tied to political negotiations behind closed doors. It also hints that the Tinubu's president authority may be under pressure or controlled by unseen forces, which people are saying that these unseen forces may be the Northerners. They are the ones controlling Bola Ahmed Tinubu in order not to release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Now, these are the possible elements of the secret deal. That is, the secret deal may be renouncing IPOB and agitation. Kanu may be forced to publicly declare the end of IPOB activities. He could be asked to accept one Nigeria and stop Biafra campaigns. Now, political compromise, agreeing to stay away from politics or endorsing certain candidates in the future. Now, another one is accepting a soft position within the system instead of leading a separatist movement. Now, legal restrictions. Signing a non-disclosure agreement about his detention and treatment, dropping all lawsuits against the federal government. Now, security surveillance, agreeing to remain under constant DSS watch even afterwards release, restrictions on travel, speech, and political gatherings. Now, economic and regional conditions, the Southeast may be promised some infrastructure or political benefits in exchange for calms. Kanu might be used as a bargaining chip to pacify the region. Now, these are the kind of negotiations that the Northerners want. These are the kind of secret deal that the Northerners want Mazin Nnamdi Kanu to sign before Bola Ahmed Tinubu, releases Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. So, in everything that is happening now, it suggests that a powerful group of Northern political elites, often referred to as the cabal, allegedly told President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to release Kanu unless he agrees to specific conditions. This implies that Kanu's freedom is not purely legal but tied to political negotiations behind closed doors. It also hints that Tinubu presidential authority may be under pressure or controlled by unseen forces, and these are the deal. These are what the Northerners told Nnamdi Kanu to sign. They told Nnamdi Kanu to renounce IPOB and agitation. This is his number one deal in order for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release him. Another one is political compromise, agreeing to stay away from politics or endorsing certain candidates in the future. Now they're saying that if Nnamdi Kanu should stay away from politics, now Bola Ahmed Tinubu can release him. This is the second part of the deal they asked him to sign. Now, legal restrictions, signing a disclosure agreement about his detention and treatment, dropping all lawsuits against the federal government. So the Northerners are also saying that Nnamdi Kanu should drop all lawsuits against the federal government before Nnamdi Kanu should release him. This is the number 3 deal they asked him to sign. Another one is restrictions on travel, speech and political gatherings. They're saying that Nnamdi Kanu should sign a deal in order to restrict his travels, his speech, and his political gatherings. This is another deal the Northerners are asking him to sign. Now, another deal that the Northerners asked him to sign is Kanu must be used as a bargaining chip to pacify the region. The Southeast may be promised some infrastructure or political benefits in exchange for calm. Now, let us take a look at the constitutional angle. In Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution, it gives Tinubu the power to release Kanu unconditionally through the prerogative of mercy. If Northern cabals are giving such orders, it raises a question: who truly controls Nigeria? Is it the president or the cabals? When I mean the cabals are people like the Funanis, the Northerners. These are the people I'm calling the cabals. So, if in Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution, it gives Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria to release Kanu unconditionally through prerogative of mercy. That's what Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution is saying. But if the Northern cabals, which is the Fulani and Northerners, are giving such orders that before Nnamdi Kanu should be released, he should sign these deals, it raises a question, a big question, which is who truly is now controlling Nigeria? Is it the president or the cabal? The Northerners should not tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu what to do. No, they don't have any right to tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu what to do, because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. So the Northerners don't have any right to question him or tell him this is what to do. Because from the way things are going, I think now I understand the people who are actually making Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to release Nnamdi Kanu all along. It is the Northern cabals that the ones making him not to release Nnamdi Kanu. This shows a clash between constitutional power and deep state influence. Now, let's take a look at the political and social implications. For the Southeast, if Kanu signs, some may see it as a betrayal, now others as a necessary move for freedom. Now, if he refuses, it could ignite more agitation and protest. Now, for Tinubu, if he follows the cabals order, the cabals I'm talking about is the Northern cabals. If he follows their orders, he risks looking like a puppet, someone that they can be easily be controlled. Because if Nnamdi Kanu, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu listens to the Northern cabals, it shows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a puppet in the hands of the Northerners. Now, if he defies them and frees Kanu unconditionally, he risks national Northern backlash before 2027 election. So if he defies what the Northerners are saying and now releases Kanu unconditionally, he risks Northern backlash before 2027 election. Now, for Nigeria, it shows the extent of secret deals controlling justice and politics could even further divide the country along ethnic and regional lines. My own suggestion to all this that is going on is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should never listen to these Northern cabals, because if he listens to them, it shows that he's a puppet in their hand, and not only that, it shows the extent of secret deals controlling justice and politics. Now, questions this raises: what is the real power of the president if cabals will detect decisions? These are the questions that have been coming up. What is the real power of the president if cabals will detect decisions? Is Kanu's release about justice or politics? Would signing this deal silence Kanu forever or give him a chance to fight from outside DSS custody? Does this prove that Nigeria's democracy is controlled by backroom agreements instead of the law? I keep asking this question. Nigeria's democracy is as if they are controlling it, at the back, outside the law. It's as if people are telling Bola Ahmed Tinubu what to do. Just imagine the Northern cabals telling the Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Nnamdi Kanu must sign a deal before his release. You can imagine that. Is this how a democratic country should be? That people that are not even the president of Nigeria are giving the president orders on what he should do. Now, power play behind the scene. This is Tinubu's weak point. This is his weak word spot. These are all Tinubu's weak points. Tinubu allegedly needs Northern backing to stay in power to 2027. Now, I've seen cases whereby people are saying that, oh, the North are the people that is even making Bola Ahmed Tinubu to win election. Yes, I've seen because the North are always feeling that they have a majority and they feel that they have more veto power. That is what the Northerners are feeling. So because of it now, they are saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's weak point now is 2027 election, and they all know within them that it's only them that can be able to give Bola Ahmed Tinubu enough votes for him to win what 2027 election. So that this is now his weak point. This is where Bola Ahmed Tinubu's weak point comes in the sense that the Northerners have decided that, oh, we have the veto power. So what is going to happen? We should tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do this in order to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and if he doesn't do it, he's not going to win the presidential election come 2027. So this is what Tinubu's weak spot. Now, the cabals are using Kanu's case as a leverage to test his loyalty. Now, Cabal's fear of president, if Kanu is released unconditionally, other agitators may be emboldened. The cabal wants to set a precedent. Freedom comes only if you submit. So what the Northern cabals are telling us that before they are going to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that they need to submit. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu needs to submit to them before he's released. Now, balancing the southeast, the North may fear that freeing Kanu without terms will boost Biafra sentiment. The deal is seen as a way to control Kanu even outside DSS custody. Now, these are the potential hidden conditions. Media silence. Kanu might be ordered to avoid interviews or speeches for a set period. His social media accounts may be monitored or restricted. Now, financial control. Restrictions on IPOB funding to weaken the movement after his release. Possible freezing of assets linked to the group until he complies. Now, influence exchange. Cabals might demand Kanu to persuade IPOB supporters to accept government initiatives. He could be forced publicly and to endorse reconciliation or amnesty programs. Now, legal and ethical questions. Rule of law versus secret orders. How can a democracy function if cabals override the court and constitution? Does this prove that Nigeria operates on secret deals instead of justice? International scrutiny. If the deal links, it could spark global criticism and human rights investigation. Amnesty International and UN observers might question Nigeria's justice system. Now, impact on the Southeast and Biafra movement, unity or division among IPOB members. Some may see signing the deal as strategic survival. Others may see it as a betrayal of the Biafran cause. Mass reaction. If Kanu is released under strict conditions, protests or celebrations could erupt depending on public perception. The Southeast may demand to see the deal to confirm he is not selling out their struggle. Now, implications for 2027 election. Tinubu's calculated gamble. Freeing Kanu with a deal could win Tinubu some Southeast votes, but bowing to Northern cabals could alienate other regions who see him as weak. Northern cabal's long-term plan. They may be using this deal to maintain dominance in the next election cycle. Kanu's case becomes a pawn in the larger political chessboard. So, before they are even going to say let Mazen Nnamdi Kanu sign that deal, the Southerners are going, the Southeast are going to actually check that deal to know if it's something they're actually trying to use and intimidate the Igbos. Now, strategic and political dimensions. Tinubu's survival versus justice. Is Tinubu prioritizing his political survival over the rule of law? Shows how justice can be sacrificed for power balance in Nigeria. The Northern cabals fear of losing grip. They see Kanu as a symbol of resistance. Freeing him without a deal could shift political power away from the North. Why now? Explore why the order allegedly came at this time. 2027 elections, rising insecurity, and Southeast agitation. Now, psychological and social impact. Kanu's mental test. Signing such a deal could weigh heavily on Kanu's conscience. Refusing might mean years more in solitary confinement. Now, Southeast youth reaction. Youth movements could either rally behind Kanu's decision or splinter if they feel betrayed. Social media will play a huge role and shaping what public opinion. Now, this is the fear factor. The deal could be designed to psychological what weaken IPOB and other agitators by making Kanu an example. Deep legal implications. Separation of power is being questioned. If cabals override court rulings and presidential powers, what does that say about Nigeria's democracy? Could lead to calls for constitutional reform. Hidden amnesty framework. This deal could secretly be a government amnesty program in disguise. It might set the stage for future negotiations with other groups. Economic and security factors. Regional stability. Government might use the deal to calm insecurity in the southeast before foreign investment. Business leaders may secretly support such a deal to stabilize the region. Global watch. Western nations monitoring Nigeria's human rights record will watch Kanu's release closely. A forced deal could backfire diplomatically. Now, these are the future scenarios. If Kanu signs that deal, these are the future things that might happen. If Kanu signs that deal, he could be released but under strict surveillance and limited influence. IPOB might lose momentum if they view it as betrayal. Now, if Kanu refuses, DSS custody continues indefinitely. Agitation in the southeast could escalate dramatically, and Tinubu's image as a negotiator collapses, painting him as a captive of the north. Now, leak of the deal. If the text of the deal leaks, it could spark outrage nationwide and internationally, could trigger mass protests and expose the cabal's influence. Now, conspiracy and hidden power structure. Who exactly are the cabals? Just like I've been telling you guys, the cabals are the northerners. Now, speculate or hint at key northern figures allegedly behind order. So the cabals are northern figures who are allegedly behind the order Bola Ahmed Tinubu is giving to Nnamdi Kanu. Now, explode the theory but that Nigeria is run by unelected shadow leaders. Kanu as a symbol, this is not just about one man, but about who truly controls Nigeria. Kanu's case is now a mirror of Nigerian democracy and power structure. So when I'm telling you guys who are these cabals, the cabals are the northern leaders who are the ones giving orders to Bola Ahmed Tinubu on what to do to Nnamdi Kanu, which is actually totally bad. So using Kanu as a political pawn, his detention isn't just legal, it's a part of a larger 2027 election strategy. The cabals may want to use his release to bargain for northern dominance, testing Tinubu's allegiance. This deal might not even be about Kanu himself, but a test of Tinubu's loyalty to the northern allies. Now, silencing opposition nationwide. If Kanu is forced to sign a deal, it sets a precedent for silencing any strong opposition voices across Nigeria. Now, ethnic and national unity angle, the Igbo question. This deal brings back the old questions. Are Igbos fully accepted in Nigeria's power structure? If Kanu has to beg or sign conditions, it can fuel feelings of marginalization. The North vs Southeast tensions. The cabal order could further widen the distrust between the North and the Southeast, could spark new separatist movement if seen as oppression. National dialogue needed. The situation might force Nigeria to confront its structural and ethnic issues. Constitution and rule of law. Court victories versus secret orders. Kanu has won some court rulings, but this deal shows courts may be powerless against the cabals. Raises the question, do legal victories mean anything in Nigeria? Tinubu's authority challenge. If a president can't act without a cabal's approval, what is the real state of Nigerian democracy? Now, global and diplomatic fallout. International human rights backlash. A forced deal could lead to UN and Amnesty International condemnation, might affect Nigeria's global reputation on justice and human rights. Diaspora pressure. IPOB supporters abroad could use the deal as proof of political persecution, increasing international lobbying against Nigeria. The possible scenarios after the deal. If Kanu signs and gets freedom, he might be restricted from speaking or agitating. The Southeast could be perceived temporarily but lose trust in leadership. If he refuses, there will be a long-term detention. It will become likely. Southeast protests could escalate, leading to more unrest and possibly violence. If the deal leaks publicly, a massive scandal that exposes secret governance could shake Nigeria's political system and spark demands for constitutional what restructuring. Now, cabal power structure. Unmasking the cabal, people will start asking, who are these northern cabals with power over what the presidency? Now, it could also lead to investigative journalists and whistleblowers exposing what names. Deep state versus democracy shows how a deep state may be running Nigeria behind the scene with elected leaders what figureheads. Now, so this to show you what the Northerners are doing in Nigeria. They're the ones controlling Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we think we're just there folding our arms. They're the ones. Because tell me why they'll be giving orders and telling Bola Ahmed Tinubu if he doesn't do this, is that Mazen and the Kalu should not be released. They are forgetting that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president. He cannot be he may decide not to even listen to what the Northerners are saying. He can use the you can use the prerogative of mercy word to release Mazen and the Kalu. But in this case now, it's as if the Northerners are the ones not telling him what to do, and it's so sad. Now, deeper political power play. Cabals using what fear of agitation. The North allegedly what believes Kanu's unconditional what release could spark a stronger Biafra movement. So the deal is a safety what net. Now, Tinubu's balancing act. Tinubu risk losing northern political support if he ignores the order, but also risk alienating the southeast if he what enforces the order. Now, this is the thing here. Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not want to lose, the northerners. Yes, because he knows that the northerners have much veto power, and that when it comes to election, they are the ones that have more veto power, to win election. So, in this case, he doesn't want to actually what lose the northerners. He doesn't want to lose the Northerners. That's why he's trying everything his possible best in order not to offend them. Now, the Northerners are telling him that before he's going to release Nnamdi Kanu, that Nnamdi Kanu should actually he should actually was sign a particular deal. And you guys know what that deal means. It means that he should what denounce what Biafra. These are the deal. Now, a hidden 27 blueprint. The deal might be tied to ensuring the North maintains influence over the next election, regardless of who becomes what president. Secret deal speculation. Soft SI clause. Kanu might be freed but required to live abroad under monitoring away from IPOB supporters. Now, conditional amnesty. The deal could secretly be part of a government amnesty program disguised as a personal agreement. Control through finance. Freeing Kanu could come with freezing IPOB related funds and tracking sponsors to weaken the movement. Now, legal versus shadow government. Constitutional betrayal. Section 174 gives Tinubu power to free Kanu, but the cabal's order proves the presidency is not truly independent. Now, judiciary undermined. Past court rulings in Kanu's favor shows the judiciary supports his release, but the deal suggests courts have no final say. Ethnic and social implication. Message to the South is the order indirectly tells Igbos, your freedom is conditional. Your leader must bow to power to be accepted. Danger of new agitation. Forcing Kanu into a deal could give birth to splinter hyper factions who reject compromise and become more radical. Potential civil arrest. If the deal becomes public and is seen as blackmail, protests could erupt nationwide. Now, these are the long-term scenarios. If Kanu signs it, he might gain freedom but lose credibility with hardcore supporters. The Southeast could calm temporarily, but IPOB might weaken. If he refuses, his detention could become indefinite, making him a stronger symbol of resistance. Tinubu may be accused of obeying the cabals instead of the constitution. Even from the look of the way things are, it's not as if Tinubu is actually listening to this cabals. That is what he's doing. Maybe he's not listening to this northern cabals. Thereby, the northern cabals are telling him not to release a Nnamdi Kanu. You can imagine that he should not release Mazen and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is listening to them because of 2027 election. Imagine, instead of him to use the constitution, to use what the constitution said, you can use the prerogative of mercy, to release Mazen and Kanu. But instead, because of 2027 election, he wants to betray himself by listening to them. It's a total shame, honestly. It's a total shame. And now people are seeing it that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is just like a puppet in the hands of the Northerners. Yes, that's what it means. If you can listen to what the Northerners are saying, meaning he's like a puppet in their hands. Now, if he refuses, his detention could become more indefinite. Now, people are saying that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu If Nnamdi Kanu refuses to obey what the refuses to sign that deal, his detention could become what indefinite, making him a stronger symbol of resistance. Tinubu may be accused of obeying the cabals instead of what the constitution. If the deal test links would expose Nigerians to deep state politics to the world, could lead to calls for constitutional reform and what restructuring. Now, the bigger questions raised: who truly what runs Nigeria? This deal forces Nigerians to ask if elected leaders have real power or if cabals will control everything. Now, justice or politics, is this about national security, political what convenience, or what suppressing what self-determination? Now, Kanu's legacy, his choice is to sign or refuse will define his role in what Nigeria history as a compromiser or what a material. Like, to be honest, like, guys, to be honest, you see these northerners, they're the ones that are the cause of Nigerians problem. Imagine the Bola Ahmed Tinubu listening to the northerners. Imagine, because of 2027 election, he doesn't want to lose the election. That's why he's not listening to what the northerners. Now, power and control dynamics, Kanu as a leverage. His intention isn't just about IPOB, it's a bargaining chip in what Nigerians entire power equation. The cabal allegedly uses him to measure Tinubu's obedience and control the southeast. Nothing and fear of losing grip. Freeing Kanu without a deal could shift national power balance toward the southeast, which the cabals would fear. Tinubu's weakness exposed. This order makes it look like Tinubu isn't fully in charge of the presidency. Raises the question: is he a leader or a figurehead? Possible secret clauses in the deal. Permanent silence clause: Kanu may be ordered not to speak about Biafra, IPOB, or his detention ever again. Monitoring or reporting: his freedom could come with DSS monitoring and mandatory checking, turning his release into what? House arrest. Now, public endorsement of government: he could be forced to make a statement supporting one Nigeria to weaken the separatist agenda. Banning IPOB: the deal might require him to officially disband IPOB and distance himself from its activities. Democracy for versus deep state. Constitutional crisis: if a cabal can detect over constitutional crisis, if a northern cabal can detect over section 174, it proves there is a government behind the government. Judiciary undermined: past ruling in Kanu's favor are meaningless if secret orders override court decisions. Now, message to other movement: the deal sends a warning to other agitators: fight the system and we control your freedom. Now, ethnic and social reactions. Igbo marginalization, and this is the narrative. Many will see the deal as proof that Igbo must beg for rights, others take for granted. Now, potential for mass protest. If the Southeast believes Kanu is being forced, it could spark large-scale unrest and civil disobedience. Now, diaspora's role. IPOB supporters abroad could intensify lobbying and implications. Now, the impact on 2017 before election: Tinubu's reputation. If he obeys the cabal, he looks weak. If he defies them, he risks losing northern support. Now, northern agenda. The cabal might use Kanu's case to maintain long-term dominance over national politics, regardless of who is president. Now, this is the bigger question. What happens if Kanu refuses to sign that deal the northerners are asking him to sign? If he refuses, his continued detention could make him a martyr and spark a new wave of agitation. Because I know that if Nnamdi Kanu refuses to sign that deal, it could keep him in continued detention. And once that thing keeps him in continued detention, it could make him a martyr or spark a new wave of agitation. What if the deal leaks? A leaked document could expose the entire shadow government and trigger massive scandal. Can Kanu outplay the cabal? He might sign tactically to get freedom and later use legal or political means, to regain influence. Is this about peace or control? Is the deal truly for national stability or just a way to silence a powerful voice permanently? Because if it's a way to silence a powerful voice, I don't think they can actually get Nnamdi Kanu. Because no matter what the Nigerian federal government are trying to do, they will never silence Nnamdi Kanu. It is not even possible. Now, strategic political layers: control through concession. The cabal's deal might be less about peace and more about forcing Kanu into a submissive role than what neutralizes what IPOB what permanently. Now, using Kanu to shape national narrative, a signed deal could be used as propaganda. Even Kanu accepts what one Nigeria. Tinubu's political tribe, if he obeys, he angers the southeast. If he disobeys, he risks what losing northern backing and political what stability. Now, northern what calculation, keeping Kanu detained without condition, risk rebellion. Freeing him unconditionally what risk what embodying what IPOB. Now, this deal is seen as the middle ground to control both. Possible hidden deal terms: public apology clause. Kanu might be forced to apologize publicly to the government or retract statements on Biafra. Leadership ban: he could be banned from leading any political activities movement after release. Economic restriction: the deal may include cutting off IPOB financial networks to weaken any what future what agitation. Southeast political alignments: Kanu might be pressured to support certain politicians or parties in the region or to align with northern world interests. Now, governance and law: executive power versus what cabal rule. Highlights from presidential power are limited by unseen forces challenging what Nigeria's what democratic what structure. Undermining the judiciary shows that even court rulings in favor of Kanu are secondary to what backroom what agreements. Setting a dangerous what precedent: other activists may face the same sign or rot treatment in what future what political what crisis. Social and ethnic impact: Biafran's movement feature a signed deal could split IPOB between those who accept Kanu's decision and those who see it as what betrayal. Now, ethnic mistrust deepens. Southeast may view this as proof that they are treated as second-class citizens in what Nigeria. Diaspora pressure increases. IPOB abroad could use the deal to escalate international lobbying against what Nigerian government. Now, these are the long-term consequences. If Kanu signs that deal, his credibility may suffer, but he regains what freedom. IPOB might weaken, but it's what could radicalize splinter what group. If he refuses, his detention could last indefinitely, making him a symbol of resistance and strengthening what his legacy. If the deal leaks, massive scandal that exposes Nigerians deep state and spark calls for restructuring what and transparency. 2027 election impact: the outcome of this deal could decide whether Tinubu retains power or what loses what regional what alliances. Now, this is the underlying questions. Who are the cabals? The other raises what curiosity about the real identities of the northern elites pulling what the strings. Is this justice or political blackmail? Nigerians will question if this is about national security or simply silencing dissent. Can Kanu outsmart the system? He may use the deal to strategically what sign to gain freedom and later what challenge the system legally or what politically. Now, what does this say about Nigerians' unity? The fact that a man's freedom is tied to a political signature exposes what deep cracks in the northern what foundation. That is what it says. So, the fact that a man's freedom is tied to political what signature exposes what deep crack it was in the northern what foundation. So, I'm telling you guys that no matter what these people are trying to do, you see Martin and you can never silence him. That is it. And I'm not even sure that Martin and is going to sign that northern cabal's ideas or their deal. He will never sign it. Now, let's take a look at the deeper political power dynamics. Tinubu's alleged what dependency shows how Tinubu's presidency might still rely heavily on northern support, making him vulnerable what to cabal what influence. Now, fear of creating a hero. Unconditionally release could turn Kanu into a global symbol for freedom movement, which the cabal allegedly wants to what prevent. Divide and rule strategy. The deal could be designed to create divisions within IPOB and the Southeast leadership by forcing a controversial what decision. Political bargaining tool. The cabal could use the deal to negotiate control of resources, policies, or appointments in exchange what for Kanu's what release. Now, potential secret deal: permanent political retirement. Kanu might be banned from holding political and activist positions for life. Speech restriction clause. His future public statements may require government clearance before release to the media. Conditional what? Amnesty program. Kanu's deal might quietly serve as the template for a larger peace deal with other separate world groups. Now, economic world leverage. The government could tie the deal to Southeast economic projects, using it as a bargaining chip to what calm the region. Now, This is the constitutional and legal implication. Shadow governance exposure. If cabals dey take terms over the president and judiciary, it reveals how unelected forces will run Nigeria. Erosion of rule of law. It suggests court victories mean nothing if secret political deals override what them. Dangerous national precedent. Future governments may use this model to what control opposition and distance with first what agreement. Now, ethnic and social dimensions. Deepening Southeast marginalization, the deal would be seen as evidence that Igbos must negotiate for rights others enjoy what by law. Public trust breakdown. Nigerians could lose faith in justice and democracy if secret deals detect who is free or jailed. Now, diaspora what mobilization. IPOB supporters abroad may use the deal as proof of what persecution, intensifying and global what campaigns. Now, political fallout scenarios. If Kanu signs temporal calm in the southeast, but IPOB could weaken what or split. Kanu may lose credibility among hardcore supporters while regaining what freedom. If he refuses, his detention could last indefinitely, making him what a stronger symbol of what resistance. Now, Southeast agitation might escalate into unrest or what mass protest. If the deal leaks, national scandal what exposing Nigeria's deep state could trigger calls for restructuring and expose what hidden what power network. Now, broader national questions: who truly runs Nigeria? Because this is the question: is it the northerners that are running Nigeria or the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because the way things are going, I don't even think it's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu again that is running Nigeria again. Oh. It is not the northerners. It is not the northerners that are now saying that are now running Nigeria for us. Because imagine the northerners telling Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell Nnamdi Kanu to sign this particular deal, or less Nnamdi Kanu is not going to be released. Now the question is, who is really running Nigeria? Anyway, guys, please, I want you to actually comment. I want you to drop a comment in the comment section saying free Nnamdi Kanu now, and also justice delayed is not what justice denied. Like I always say, this is like a ritual we're always doing here. It's just a way of us trying to use this platform to agitate for what Nnamdi Kanu's freedom. The people will know that that innocent man have been in detention since 2021. So please, guys, type in the comment section, free Nnamdi Kanu now. Justice delayed is not what justice denied. Now, justice versus political what convenience. Is this about national unity or what simply silencing a powerful what voice? Kanu's what historical legacy. His choice to sign or reject could define his place in history. A compromiser for peace or a martyr was for freedom. Now, Nigeria's unity test. This deal symbolizes whether Nigeria can remain united or if secret power struggles are what tearing it apart. Now, message to other regions. Did you want every activist or separatist groups? Your freedom depends on submission and what not and not law. That is it. So please, guys, like I told you guys, please comment on the drop your comments on comment section saying free Nnamdi Kanu now, and also justice delayed is not what is not justice denied. So guys, now let's look at the deeper political what motivations. Preventing a power shift. Northern cabals fear that an unconditional Kanu release could give the Southeast a stronger voice in national politics and what demanding what restructuring. Now, weaponizing freedom. Kanu's release is not treated as justice but as a bargaining tool to maintain what northern what dominance. Now, Tinubu's political chess game. Tinubu may secretly want Kanu free to win southeastern support, but the cabal order traps him between loyalty to power brokers and national unity. This is what I've always been thinking about, because maybe in my mind now, Tinubu may actually want Nnamdi Kanu to be free, but the northern cabals may try to to trap him down. This is what they will try to do. Maybe they'll try to trap him down using 2027 election. Maybe they will say that if he tries to release Nnamdi Kanu now, he may not be able to win 2027 election. So the northern cabals are trying to use that to trap him down between loyalty to power brokers and what national unity. Now, 2027 election strategy. The deal might be designed to neutralize what Southeast agitation before the election, so the North can control the narrative and what voting blocks. Now, hidden deal element. Media blackout clause. Kanu could be forced into silence with restrictions on interviews, rallies, or online what presence. Public symbolism. A stage sign of the deal might be used to send a national message Even Kanu has accepted the government was authority. Leadership was replacement. The Duke could push for a new Southeast leader approved by both Tinubu and the North, sidelining Kanu's what influence. Now, long-term surveillance. Freedom could come with lifetime DSS monitoring and travel bans to limit what his reach. Now, rule of law crisis. Constitutional power undermined. If Section 174 is overruled by a cabal order, Nigeria faces a deep constitutional crisis, exposing how weak the presidency actually is. Now, judiciary what powerlessness. Past court victories in Kanu's favor show the judiciary is what irrelevant if political dues determine what justice. Dangerous what temperament sets a model where activist freedom is tied to forced agreement instead of law or human rights. Ethnic and social impact. Igbo was disenchantment. The Southeast may see the deal as further proof they are excluded from equal treatment in Nigeria. Risk of new movement. If IPOB is silenced, new and more radical splinter groups could emerge, escalating what the crisis. Now, national distrust. Nigerians across all regions might lose faith in the justice system, seeking it as a political what marketplace. Now, political fallout and scenarios. If Kanu signs that deal, there will be a temporary peace but potential loss of his what credibility. Now, it could also weaken IPOB's influence while boosting Tinubu's image as what a negotiator. Now, if he refuses, the tension continues indefinitely, making him a martyr and fueling what Southeast was resistance. And also, it could spark what massive unrest and global what attention. Now, if the deal leaks, explosive political scandal exposing cabal control over Nigerian's government, and also it may trigger calls for restructuring and national what reform. Now, this is the big question raised: who holds the real power? The situation forces a national what debate on whether Nigeria is controlled by elected leaders or was unelected shadow figures. Is this peace or blackmail? Nigerians will ask whether the deal is a genuine attempt to unify the nation or simply a way to silence what dissent. Now, this is Kanu's historical role. His decision to sign or refuse could determine his legacy as either a strategic survivor or an uncompromising what freedom fighter. Nigerians' fragile unity. This order shows how delicate Nigeria's national fabric is and how easily secret power struggles can what tear it apart. Now, message to other movements. Your deal sets an example. Your cause does not matter. Your freedom depends on submission and not justice. Now, international reaction. Western nations, Amnesty International, and UN observers could see this as proof of political persecution. Reputation was globally. That is just it. That is what they may what actually what see it as. And I tell you guys that you see this thing they're doing, you see they can never make or force Nnamdi Kanu to sign that deal. Now I'll be taking some little comments here, so guys, please just stay with me to the end of this lesson and also live session. Also, please don't forget to share this live and let people know that Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. Now, the first comment here says this is coming from Ifeanyi Chukwu Okoye. He said this is to say they have no regard for the Yoruba person in the Aso Rock. Honestly, they have no regards, my brother. Now, another person here says Rancor moves. Tinubu refusal to sign that deal makes him a stooge to Northerners. Like, to be honest, Tinubu is already a tool to Northerners. I'm telling you guys honestly, he's not like a tool to Northerners. Tell me why Northerners are forcing you to tell Nnamdi Kanu to sign that deal, and that if Nnamdi Kanu does not sign the deal, you should not release it. Imagine that. You can imagine the way they're using Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their puppet. Northerners are using him as his puppet because the Northerners believe that without their veto power, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will never win the Nigerian's election. So power struggle has been exposed. The cabal versus presidency. Finally, power struggle has been exposed. We now know the people who are really ruling Nigeria. The Northern cabal versus presidency. This order highlights the ongoing battle between shadow powers and the official government. Tinubu's response will show if he truly controls the presidency or answers to a hidden authority. Now, fear of uncontrolled influence. If the Northerner allegedly sees Kanu as someone who can mobilize millions, a free, unconditioned Kanu could shift national politics, making an example. This deal is designed to send a warning to all agitators, challenge the system, and we will control your destiny. Now, backroom governance shows how major national decisions happen in secret deals, not in court or in the what National Assembly. Now, possible secret conditions. Permanent political ban. Kanu may be forced to renounce activism and leadership roles what permanently. Controlled public appearance. If released, every speech or event might require government clearance to limit his influence. Now, endorsement clause. He could be forced to make a public statement supporting one Nigeria to psychologically weaken the separatist movement. Economic strings. Part of the deal might include freezing or monitoring IPOB related accounts to cut off funding. Now, this is the national justice implication. Rule of law in question. If a cabal order outweighs court rulings and presidential power, Nigerian democracy is exposed as fragile. Legal precedents. Other activists may face the same sign or rot in detention tactic in future cases. Constitutional debate sparks renewed calls to amend Section 174 to protect presidential decisions from outside interference. Now, ethnic and social effects. Southeast reaction. Many in the Southeast might see the deal as a humiliation and proof of marginalization. Possible IPOB splinter groups. If Kanu signs, hardcore IPOB members could break away, forming more radical group. National trust erosion. Citizens lose faith in government and justice, seeing them as controlled by secret negotiations. Diaspora mobilization. IPOB might see the deal as evidence of oppression and intensify campaigns in Western nations. Now, political fallout. Tinubu's reputation. If he obeys the cabal, critics will call him a puppet. That's if he obeys the cabal, that's northern cabals, the critics are going to call him a puppet. If he defies them, northern backlash could destabilize his government and not impact on 2027 election. The outcome of Kanu's case could decide alliance and votes in the Southeast. Northern agenda. The cabal may see the deal as a way to maintain dominance beyond Tinubu's presidency. Now, these are the deeper questions. Who are the cabals? It raises national curiosity about the real names and faces behind these orders. Now, justice or political blackmail. Is this about national peace or silencing a powerful dissident voice? Kanu's legacy. His choice to sign or refuse would define him for history. A strategist who compromised for survival or martyrdom, who refused submission. Nigeria's unity test. The deal exposes how fragile the country's unity is and whether true reconciliation is possible. Now, global reaction. A leaked or exposed deal could lead to international condemnation and scrutiny of Nigeria's human rights record. Now, guys, I want you to actually, the way things have been happening, people are saying that, they're saying that Nnamdi Kanu should sign the Northerners are saying that Nnamdi Kanu should sign a particular deal before Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to release him. Now, before the Nnamdi Kanu signed that deal, the Northerners should go and tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu that there are so many things that Nnamdi Kanu have pointed out that is the problem or what he's facing. And if they can fix all those things, then that is not a problem. If the Bola Ahmed Tinubu can fix the marginalization in the Igbos, not only marginalization of the Igbos, if the Bola Ahmed Tinubu can make sure that the 1999 constitution is being rewritten, then signing the deal will not be a problem. And also, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu make sure that the Southeast occupy a better position in this country, signing the deal that the Northerners asked Nnamdi Kanu to sign will not be a problem. They will sign it freely without any problem. I want you guys actually listening to what Maxwell Okpara, the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu, has to say concerning Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention, and the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is telling Nnamdi Kanu to sign this deal if he really wants to be released. And also, I'm going to be right back to analyze more on why the northern cabals are forcing Bola Ahmed Tinubu to actually tell Nnamdi Kanu to sign that deal, or else if he doesn't sign the deal, he's not going to be released. Guys, just take a look at this video and I'll be right back.
When the president calm down, the reason Nnamdi Kanu have a discussion with him. You have been having a discussion with bandits and the so-called repentant Boko Haram. Tell me the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, because he's agitating for self-determination, which is his own constitutional fundamental rights granted to him by the constitution and the law.
Well, the government's angle is not because of the agitation, because they know that everyone has a right to agitate, but they said the way he was going about it, like and then people were being incited. Well, that's even not what I'm
what of the one the wife of the president incited people during the election? The wife of the president, he incited people that Igbo should go. What of the one Oba of Lagos, say that Igbo should go and fall into lagoon? What of those that came out and said that Igbos will not vote? If you are not voting for APC, you will not vote. What happened to them? Has anybody been arrested? That Nnamdi Kanu said something. Then you now term that thing he said as is a terrorist, is a crime of terrorism. You charge him for terrorism. His own lawful organization that is registered in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe and Asia, and you now came to Nigeria, you term it a terrorist organization. Now you are now saying that now that IPOB is being recognized in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe. So you are now saying that America, France, Germany, they are recognizing a terrorist organization because you don't want anybody to agitate. You want to suppress anybody. If you talk, you kill him, suppress him, jail him. In a country that is predicated on constitutional governance, it cannot work like that.
Okay, let's get back to the ministerial nomination of Bianca Ojukwu, because you said he took away one from Anambra and brought in another. But remember that the president took away the minister based on the KPI results that came out, which he was not even the one, that did the evaluation. It was the result given to him with which he did that, meaning that if actually the minister had performed, above board in the KPI, they wouldn't have had any reason to remove her rather.
Now, still on that ministerial list, we have 48 of them, am I right? And we have 36 states in this country, including FCT 37. So, apart from Southeast, that have only 5, every other region have more than 6, apart from Southeast. Now, take since 1999, we have been having series of presidents. Just let's use what is going on now. The president is from where? Vice is from where? Speaker is from where? Senate President is from where? CJN is from where? Court of Appeal President is from where? National Industrial Court President is from where? Chief Judge of Federal High Court is from where? And they are saying that the people of Southeast belongs to this country.
The chief of
are you sure you're not? Max, are you sure you're not? I mean, it's just like what I said too. I mean, isn't it time we started to be less sentimental about this diversity?
We have to apply it now. We are saying that the only people that are qualified to hold all this position, nobody from South is qualified. On what basis?
Are you saying that there's
but the chief of Naval Staff is from the Southeast?
Huh?
The chief of Naval Staff?
From where? I'm talking about the key position. Number 1 person, number 2 person, number 3 person, number 4 person, number 5 person. The key position, we have 3 arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament. You can never see anybody from Southeast there. Now, the point we are talking about is that I'm not even talking about, I'm in court about lopsided appointments.
Okay.
I can avail that my process because I did an intensive research in that process. File it, asking court to view whether this particular appointment, whether this particular governance is in line with Federal Character Establishment Act, an act of National Assembly that said that you should carry everybody along. Section 14 of the Constitution also said that you should carry everybody along. And we are now doing all these things. You are telling me that, yes, now that you have removed Kennedy Handele and you are now brought in Bianca Ojukwu, that the people of Southeast will jubilate. Are you talking to idiots? Look at the people that you are talking about. Let me start with the sports. In football, the people that have made Nigeria proud are the people of Southeast. In commerce, in aviation industry, name it. In academics, they are from people of Southeast. But when it comes to power, they are not qualified. And we want them to be happy. Listen, let me tell you, like today that is Monday, go to Southeast. And my annoyance is that these things are avoidable for Christ's sake. The one at Niger, the reason and the Kanu, let us start addressing this issue. This early morning, somebody sent me a clip, something they posted, that they said from, I think they said next week, maybe the next 2 weeks, that there will be nothing like federal courts in the whole of Southeast. What do I mean by federal courts? Federal courts, National Industrial Court is a federal court. Federal High Court is a federal court. Court of Appeal is a federal court. Now, the judges that are there, most of them are not Igbos. Majority of them are not Igbos. How should you risk somebody to go and preside in the Court of Appeal over the judicial division, Oka judicial division, Enugu judicial division? How can you appoint somebody to go and preside in Federal High Court in the Southeast, National Industrial Court in the Southeast? And you are not even thinking about all this. And the judges are not even thinking about, So the point we are talking about is that when there is a problem, look for a solution. President, somebody like us, we are not even, I'm defending Nnamdi Kanu, one of his lawyers. So when they say so you people are not doing what you're supposed to do, the person that is calling you, don't even know him. He's using a hidden number to call you. You don't even know what you're talking about. The only thing that you went to court and you were unable to bring Nnamdi Kanu out. What to say?
Okay, Maxwell, let me ask you this, because from what you're saying, I've also heard IPOB many times deny, allegations of being involved in some of the killings that happen in the southeast and some of the, the ills that we see in the society. Even the sit-at-home in question, IPOB has also claimed that he has not asked anybody to sit at home. I don't know, get my point. So the point I'm making is that from what you're saying, it would look as if what you're actually trying to say is that it's because Nnamdi is being held,
yes,
that is why, the ills in the society in the southeast has escalated. Does it have anything to do with him? That is what you're saying?
Do you know why? Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB is his initiative. He established it, he organized it. Now, when you now kidnapped him or adopted him, and unlawfully, because the Supreme Court have said that he was unlawfully brought into this country, and you kept him incommunicado, everybody on his own. This one we kill, you said at IPOB. This one we maim, you said at IPOB. Everybody on his own. That's why I asked you the question, who is IPOB? The IPOB is Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu, if Nnamdi Kanu is out, he will know who is who. Simon Ekpa will talk his own, Emma Powerful will talk his own, this one will talk his own, this one. Who is IPOB? That you are even talking. Simon Ekpa is in Finland. Emma Powerful, I don't know where he's operating from. Another person is operating from somewhere. Issuing threats. Just like the one somebody told me. I don't even know where that one is coming from. So the easiest way to do is the one that you know. Nnamdi Kanu. Then tell Attorney General, as he discontinue the charges against the president of Mieti Ala Kato, discontinue that of Showore, they are all terrorism. Tell them to discontinue that of Nnamdi Kanu, and allow Nnamdi Kanu to agitate. It is his right. I told you the other day.
You see, that's where the problem is, really. The guarantee, that there will not be problems, even if Nnamdi Kanu is, because you're saying allow him to agitate, and he goes about it the way he used to, like, the government have actually feared. That may also create more problems, don't you think?
Let me tell you, there are some things that you asked me the other day whether they are talking about condition giving Nnamdi Kanu. I told you one question. I say, if you give Nnamdi Kanu condition that he feel after meeting up that condition, he will still live like a human being, so be it. But when you give him condition and you are removing that made him a human being, he will tell you no. What is that made you a human being? That thing that makes you a human being is your ability to exercise your fundamental rights. And when somebody said, now I'm going to employ you here, I will be paying you $500,000 every month, but you will not talk, you will not move out, you say, do away with your job. When somebody said, I'm going to release you, but I'll cut one of your hands, say no. The agitation for self-determination is a fundamental right. And if you people fail to understand it, I can agitate that I need the Republic of Maxwell. It is my right. Anybody can agitate. I don't even need crowd to follow me. It is when you now feel that you have gotten the necessary need the necessary qualities, then so be it. It is now left for the president, who believe in democracy, who believe in government of the people by the people, to apply your initiative. What is the initiative? Release the person. Start addressing all those issues that gave rise to this agitation. It has been there. Uwazuke was agitating during Obasanjo. A lot of people were agitating. So now that you have arrested, you come down Uwazuke that time. Nnamdi Kanu came up. Now that you have arrested Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa is there. I think this data from Ned Nwoko was telling you that even if you arrest Simon Ekpa today, another Simon Ekpa will come out. So the issue there is that address all those issues.
Right.
So for you, it's not about ministerial appointment.
No. That one. Okay, that is a complete distraction.
Shouldn't even come in.
Okay. After coming in now, let Bianca come and address the Igbos in Enugu.
All right.
So guys, the power politics and what hidden agendas. Now, this is one thing that we should know. The silent coup was argument. If a northern cabal can override Tinubu and the judiciary, it's like a silent coup against what Nigeria's democracy. Shows what unelected forces are more powerful than elected officials. Now, Tinubu as a pawn or player. Is Tinubu reluctantly obeying or using the duties advantage to gain leverage over the North's later? Northern fear of secession was domino effect. Freeing Kanu unconditionally could spark other separatist movements in the Middle Belt and Niger Delta. Now, Kanu's detention as was leverage. His continued detention allows the cabal to control Southeast agitation as an election tool. Now, possible details: first, relocation. Kanu may be released on condition of staying outside the Southeast or even Nigeria. Political silence period. This could include a 5 to 10 year silence clause to neutralize his influence. Now, IPOB restructuring. He may be ordered to dissolve IPOB or hand over to leadership to government approved figures. Community control. Part of the deal might require Kanu to calm his supporters publicly and essentially turning him into a tool for peace enforcement. Now, legal and governance crisis. Section 174 undermined. This shows how prerogative of mercy is useless if shadow forces detect terms above the president. Judiciary as a rubber stamp. Court victories for Kanu look meaningless if secret deals determine his fate. Rule of law versus rule of power highlights the gap between Nigeria's legal framework and real-world power dynamics. Now, ethnic and social fallout. Southeast humiliation forcing Kanu to sign could be as symbolic subjugation of Igbo nation. The risk of radicalization if IPOB sees the deal as betrayal. Splinter groups could emerge harder to control and more exclusive. So, as I'm telling you guys that these people are trying everything possible for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to sign that deal. So if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not sign the deal, that they're going to not, if he doesn't sign that deal, they will not the honest truth and not is just they did not write it for every region. It was only written for the Northerners, to favor only the Northerners. And the people who wrote the 1999 constitution were some military some Northern military cabals. They're the ones that wrote that constitution. So guys, I want you guys to drop your comments below based on everything that is happening here. Drop your comment below, and also please type in the comment section. It's just like a ritual that we do here every time in order for us to agitate for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to tell the whole world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. So please type on the comment section, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also justice delayed is not justice denied. And also please, if you're not new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, turn on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. Like I tell you guys that this is a channel whereby you'll be getting all the latest news concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and everything that the Nigerian government are about to do to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because I'll always be keeping you guys updated. And also please don't forget that he'll be coming to court on the 10th of October 2025, because the indigenous people of Biafra are ready to hear what is the next court case, like what is the next court judgment that is going to be coming from Justice Jason Omotosho based on what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And also guys, please don't forget to drop your comments below. Like I actually told you guys, drop your comment below. So let us actually take a look at some comments here. Okay, Gideon Obi said, when Omotosho pass verdict, I'll be in a better position to advise positively on this issue. If Tinubu goes against the verdict of the justice, Tinubu cannot return to autocracy. Everybody is actually waiting for Omotosho to actually pass his verdict so that they will actually know what to do. That's what people want to do now. So guys, remember I told you guys, please type on the comment section, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also justice delayed is not what justice denied. So that I want you guys to also share this live so people will understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man who has been in detention for no crime committed. So guys, as you watch this video, for people who have not watched what Master Okpara have to say about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what the Nigerian government are doing to him, please, this video is for you guys. Listen carefully and listen to what Master Okpara, his lawyer, said, and I'll be right back, guys. Just watch this
when
video.
the president calm down, the reason Nnamdi Kanu, have a discussion with him. You have been having a discussion with bandits and the so-called repentant Boko Haram. Tell me the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, because he's agitating for self-determination. which is his own constitutional fundamental rights granted to him by the constitution and the law.
Well, the government's angle is not because of the agitation, because they know that everyone has a right to agitate, but they said the way he was going about it,
like
and then people were being incited. Well, that's even not what I'm
what of the one the wife of the president incited people during the election? The wife of the president, he incited people that Igbo should go. What of the one Oba of Lagos said that Igbo should go and fall into lagoon? What of those that came out and said that Igbos will not vote? If you are not voting for APC, you will not vote. What happened to them? Has anybody been arrested? That Nnamdi Kanu said something, then you now term that thing he said as is a terrorist, is a crime of terrorism. You charge him for terrorism. His own lawful organization that is registered in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe and Asia, and you now came to Nigeria, you term it a terrorist organization. Now you are now saying that now that IPOB is being recognized in almost all the whole countries in America and Europe, so you are now saying that America, France, Germany, they are recognizing a terrorist organization because you don't want anybody to agitate. You want to suppress anybody. If you talk, kill him, suppress him, jail him. In a country that is predicated on constitutional governance, it cannot work like that.
Okay, let's get back to the ministerial nomination of Bianca Ojukwu, because you said he took away one from Anambra and brought in another. But remember that the president took away the minister based on the KPI results that came out, which he was not even the one, that did the evaluation. It was the result given to him with which he did that, meaning that if actually the minister had performed, above board in the KPI, they wouldn't have had any reason to remove her rather.
Now, still on that ministerial list, we have 48 of them, am I right? And we have 36 states in this country, including FCT 37. So, apart from Southeast, that have only 5, every other region have more than 6, apart from Southeast. Now, check since 1999, we have been having series of presidents. Let's use what is going on now. The president is from where? Vice is from where? Speaker is from where? Senate President is from where? CJN is from where? Court of Appeal President is from where? National Industrial Court President is from where? Chief Judge of Federal High Court is from where? And they are saying that the people of Southeast belongs to this country.
Are you sure Max, are you sure you're not? I mean, it's just like what I said too. I mean, isn't it time we started to be less sentimental about this diversity?
We have to apply it now. We are saying that the only people that are qualified to hold on this position, nobody from South is qualified. On what basis?
Are you saying that there's
but the chief of Naval Staff is from the South,
Huh?
The chief of Naval Staff?
From where? I'm talking about the key position. Number 1 person, number 2 person, number 3 person, number 4 person, number 5 person. The key position, we have 3 arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament. You can never see anybody from Southeast there. Now, the point we are talking about is that when I'm not even talking about, I'm in court about lopsided appointments.
Okay.
I can avail that my process because I did an intensive research in that process. File it, asking court to view whether this particular appointment, whether this particular governance is in line with Federal Character Establishment Act, an act of National Assembly that said that you should carry everybody along. Section 14 of the Constitution also said that you should carry everybody along. And we are not doing all these things. You are telling me that, yes, now that you have removed Kennedy Hanele and you are now brought in Bianca Ojukwu, that the people of Southeast will jubilate. Are you talking to idiots? Look at the people that you are talking about. Let me start with the source. In football, the people that have made Nigeria proud are the people of Southeast. In commerce, in aviation industry, name it. In academics, they are from people of Southeast. But when it comes to power, they are not qualified. And we want them to be happy. Listen, let me tell you, like today that is Monday, go to Southeast. And my annoyance is that these things are avoidable for Christ's sake. The one at Nnamdi, the reason Nnamdi Kanu, let us start addressing this issue. This early morning, somebody sent me a clip, something they posted, that they said from, I think they said next week, the next 2 weeks, that there will be nothing like federal courts in the whole of Southeast. What do I mean by federal courts? Federal courts, National Industrial Court is a federal court. Federal High Court is a federal court. Court of Appeal is a federal court. Now, the judges that are there, most of them are not Igbos. Majority of them are not Igbos. How should you risk somebody to go and preside in the Court of Appeal or the judicial division, Oka judicial division, Enugu judicial division? How can you appoint somebody to go and preside in Federal High Court in the Southeast, National Industrial Court in the Southeast? And we are not even thinking about all this, and the judges are not even thinking about So the point we are talking about is that when there is a problem, look for a solution. President, somebody like us, we're not even, I'm defending Nnamdi Kanu, one of his lawyers. So when they say so you people are not doing what you're supposed to do, the person that is calling you, don't even know him. He's using a hidden number to call you. You don't even know what they're talking about court. The only thing that you went to court and you were unable to bring Nnamdi Kanu out. They're not even safe.
Okay, Maxwell, let me ask you this, because from what you're saying, I've also heard IPOB many times deny, allegations of being involved in some of the killings that happen in the southeast and some of the, the ills that we see in the society. Even the sit-at-home in question, IPOB has also claimed that he has not asked anybody to sit at home. I don't know, get my point. So the point I'm making is that from what you're saying, it would look as if what you're actually trying to say is that it's because Nnamdi is being held, that is why, the ills in the society in the southeast has escalated. Does it have anything to do with him? That is what you're saying?
Do you know why? Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB is his initiative. He established it, he organized it. Now, when you now kidnapped him or adopted him, and unlawfully, because the Supreme Court have said that he was unlawfully brought into this country, and you kept him incommunicado, everybody on his own. This one we kill, you said at IPOB. This one we maim, he said at IPOB. Everybody on his own. That's why I asked you the question, who is IPOB? The IPOB is Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu, if Nnamdi Kanu is out, you will know who is who. Simon Ekpa will talk his own, Emma Powerful will talk his own, this one will talk his own, this one. Who is IPOB? That you are even talking. Simon Ekpa is in Finland. Emma Powerful, I don't know where he's operating from. Another person is operating from somewhere. Issuing threats. Just like the one somebody told me. I don't even know where that one is coming from. So the easiest way to do is the one that you know. Nnamdi Kanu. Then tell Attorney General, as he discontinue the charges against the president of Mieti Allah Kato, discontinue that of Showore, they are all terrorism. Tell them to discontinue that of Nnamdi Kanu and allow Nnamdi Kanu to agitate. It is his right. I told you the other day.
You see, that's where the problem is, really. The guarantee, that there will not be problems even if Nnamdi Kanu is, because you're saying allow him to agitate and he goes about it the way he used to, like, the government have actually feared. That may also create more problems, don't you think?
Let me tell you, there are some things that you asked me the other day whether they are talking about condition giving Nnamdi Kanu. I told you one question. I say, if you give Nnamdi Kanu condition that he feel after meeting up that condition, he will still live like a human being, so be it. But when you give him condition and you are removing that made him a human being, he will tell you no. What is that made you a human being? That thing that makes you a human being is your ability to exercise your fundamental rights. And when somebody said, now I'm going to employ you here, I will be paying you $500,000 every month, but you will not talk, you will not move out, you say, do away with your job. When somebody said, I'm going to release you, but I'll cut one of their hands, say no. The agitation for self-determination is a fundamental right. And if you people fail to understand it, I can agitate that I need the Republic of Maxwell. It is my right. Anybody can agitate. I don't even need crowd to follow me. It is when you now feel that you have gotten the necessary need the necessary qualities, then so be it. It is now left for the president, who believe in democracy, who believe in government of the people by the people, to apply your initiative. What is the initiative? Release the person. Start addressing all those issues that gave rise to this agitation. It has been there. Uwazirike was agitating during Obasanjo. A lot of people were agitating. So now that you have arrested, you come down Uwazirike that time. Nnamdi Kanu came up. Now that you have arrested Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa is there. I think this data from Ned Nwoko was telling you that even if you arrest Simon Ekpa today, another Simon Ekpa will come out. So the issue there is that address all those issues.
So for you, it's not about ministerial appointment.
No. That one. Okay, that is the complete distraction. That one should even come in. Okay. After coming in now, let Bianca come and address the Igbos in Enugu.
All right.
So you guys have listened to what the lawyer said, right, Marcel Lakbara? Now you cannot actually tell someone that you want to you should sign some deals, that if he doesn't sign this deal, he's not going to be released. When you know that when you know that you will not, you don't think about, oh, what actually made this person to start this Biafra agitation, what actually prompted this person to do this Biafra agitation, if not the Igbo marginalization and the way Igbos are not actually treated better in Nigeria. They're always treated like second class citizens, and also the fact that Igbos are not occupying better positions in Nigeria. So all these things I know are making Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to start this Biafra agitation. So now the only thing that the Bola Tinubu needs to do now is not even about listening to the northern cabals. You should not even try to listen to them at all. He shouldn't do what is right. He should do what, let justice what be actually be done. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, turn on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. And please don't forget that this channel is actually here, to talk about the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why I told you guys, please share this live, subscribe if you know you're new to this channel, and please turn on the notification bell to be getting all the latest news in this channel anytime we drop any latest news in this channel, especially because this channel is all about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We talk about everything concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what the Nigerian government are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So guys, thank you for watching, and see you guys again in my next live section.